Hello everybody once again and welcome to the New Spanish Academy. This is La Nueva Academia de Español, the New Spanish Academy, and this is another Spanish freestyle lesson. And you know what you gotta do? You gotta subscribe, follow us, like, share, save, all of that. We're learning Spanish here, and this is a freestyle lesson, and I'm gonna freestyle the lesson. It's not rapping, I'm just teaching it from the top of my head, meaning it's not prepared. Now, today is a little bit of an exception because I'm redoing this video. When I finished this lesson and I was about to edit it, turns out the sound was bad, the mic was not really well plugged, so I'm doing it again. So that's why we already have something kind of prepared, so it's not really like freestyling because I'm using something that already was done, but you know, it was done as a freestyle. So we're gonna use what we have here, and as usual I'm gonna add new things. Anyways, follow us. As I was starting this video, I said follow us, and then I thought, you know what, let's learn how to say follow us in Spanish, and it is síguenos. Síguenos from the verb seguir. All right, now, so this is what we had before. I'm going to add something different here. All right, see what I'm going to do here, something super amazing as always, because this is a New Spanish Academy. We do things a new way, new programs for you and all of that. Now, the verb to follow in Spanish is seguir. All right, now we have the U-U-E, sorry, G, this is in Spanish, not G, is G, and then we have U, and then E. It's always gui, as in guitarra, right? So we say guitarra, all right? Seguir. If I say I follow is yo sigo, you follow is tú sigues, all right? He follows is él sigue. All right. Now this part turns out being a bit of a freestyle because I didn't say this part in the previous video, so we're freestyling. Yo sigo, tú sigues, él sigue. By the way, this is the present tense of the verb seguir, to follow. I follow, you follow, he, she, it follows. So in English, the third person changes. So I follow, you follow doesn't change, he follows. You add an S. In Spanish, every person changes, all right? As you might already know. So we have a course, that's the verbs course, and I go through all the tenses. But right now, I want you just to give you a little bit of the juice so you understand what's going on here, okay? So, but here, I'm telling to you to follow us. So it's sigue and not sigues. Present tense, you follow, sigues, and here I'm telling you, follow us, síguenos. Why it doesn't have the síguenos, you might think, right? Now, the reason why is because this to the right here is, this is infinitive, meaning to follow, meaning the tense that you find in the dictionary, and here is present tense. And here to the left, I am basically not telling you what you are doing, because in present tense, I'm telling you what you are doing, like tú sigues, you are following, but here I'm telling you to follow. It's almost like an order. So that's why it's called imperative form. I tell you, follow us. All right, I'm telling you almost like an order or a suggestion, right? That's why it's called imperative, like an emperor, like a king telling you to do something. Síguenos. All right, that's why it's different than this. All right, in case you had a confusion about this, whenever maybe with another verb, right? You are saying to somebody something in present tense, but it's wrong. It's because there's different tenses. Okay, now follow us. Okay, so the question here is, who am I talking to? Am I talking to you, one person, or am I talking to you, many people? All right, you guys. Now in English, the word you. All right, so let me make another little here extra. All right, so let's see. All right, we'll make it small here. So in English, the word you is for one person, and that in Spanish would be two, right? And we have you for two or more, and that in Spanish would be vosotros or ustedes. All right, that's for two or more people. Now in Spanish, if you know a little bit of Spanish, you might recognize usted. Now this is when you talk to somebody that you don't know, somebody that's elderly, older than you, a family member that's older, an authority. You speak, we can call it formally or with respect, and we say usted. It doesn't mean that tú is not with respect, but usted is respectfully, formally. So vosotros is regular and ustedes is formally. Now, in Latin America, we all say ustedes, we never say vosotros. Why? It's not because we are more formal, it's just because it, became a habit, okay? So ustedes, vosotros. All right, so here we have sigue, and then I say nos, and then I say siga, nos. So I'm talking here, sigue to one person, and siga is to one person. So sigue is when I'm talking to tú, and siga is when I'm talking to usted. Both is one person. Síganos, you one person, síganos with respect, you one person, síguenos as a friend. And here we have nos, if it's following us, follow us, right? And here we have sígueme or sígame. All right, so if we're gonna follow this, all right, we're gonna put it in order. All right, let's see here. So síguenos, sígueme, síganos, sígame. So in this one, we're talking respectfully. All right, so things are maybe seeming confusing. Maybe you just understand now that we are telling people to follow us, and one of these is follow us, one of these is follow me, and one of these is follow us for many people to follow us, and another one is for one person to follow us. Very confusing, very nice, but at least you know that. So the fact that you are confusing about, well, he said that is one person following and then many people following, and then that person is following many people, and that person is following one person, and many people are following one person, and many people are following one people. I don't get it. Just the fact that you are confused, but you know what you are confused about, tells you that you know more Spanish than the people who have no idea that that's even a possibility. Okay, so now let's go into detail. All right, follow us. So I'm telling to one person, síguenos. But let's see here. All right, let me put it like this. Yeah, follow us, follow me. Follow us, let me do it like this. All right. So it's not confusing, or to make it more confusing. I mean, what clarifies something can confuse somebody else, right? So, sigue, friendly. Siga, formally. Síguenos, follow us, one person. Síganos, follow us, one person. Sígueme, follow me, one person. Sígame, follow me, one person. But this one to the right is formally, remember. So this is formally. All right, formally, síganos, one person, follow all of us. Formally, sígame, one person, follow just me. Friendly, friendly. Síguenos, one person, friendly, follow all of us or us. Friendly, sígueme, one person, follow me. Now, what if it's many people? Here we have it. So, seguidnos, many people, follow us. Seguidme, you guys, many people, follow me. Now remember, this seguid is for vosotros. So this, you guys here, following, is the vosotros, meaning the friendly, which for many people is used only in Spain, vosotros, all right? Not necessarily that the other one is not friendly, it's just formal. In Latin America, we say, sigan, you guys, síganos, Síganme. You guys follow us, you guys follow me. Seguidnos. You guys follow us. Seguidme. You guys follow me. Okay? Now, this one is used in Spain and this one is used in Latin America. Now, síguenos, síganos, sígueme, sígame. Okay, we have the different forms. Okay, so here we have a couple of examples that are already ready right now. Okay, síganme todos ustedes. Sigan, this is you guys. Síganme todos ustedes. You guys follow me. All of you. Alright? Síganme. Who? Of course it is ustedes. Alright? Why do I say this? Why do I have to specify this? Because if I say seguidme, it will be todos vosotros. Síganme, todos ustedes. Now this right here, I don't have to specify. Alright? I don't have to specify. But I'm specifying for you so that you understand who we're talking about. Because if I say seguidme, of course, I'm talking to vosotros. Because it's already implied in the word seguid. And síganme is you guys, ustedes. So we don't have to say todos ustedes, all you guys. But we can say it if we want. Alright, síganme todos ustedes. Seguidme todos vosotros. Both work. Okay, we're being very redundant in this video. Okay, now, síganme, you guys follow me. ¿Por qué? Follow me because aquí aprenderán mejor. Here, aprenderán, you will learn from the verb. The verb is called aprender. Alright, this verb means to learn. Aprender. Alright, so aprenderán is the same verb to learn, but in the future. Is changed for the future for you guys. Alright, because the verb in Spanish changes for each person and it changes also for the past in several ways and in the future in several ways. So here it's changed in the future for you guys. Aquí aprenderán mejor. Or they. Aquí aprenderán mejor. Ellos aprenderán mejor. Síganme porque aprenderán mejor. Now this word maybe sound a little bit, I would say cool. If you don't speak Spanish, aprenderán. Aprenderán. And these words that sound a little bit very far away from your language, they are specific for you to learn, because the harder and the more difficult or far away the word seems, the funnier it is for you to learn it and to say it and be like, look the word I learned. Aprenderán. And all of a sudden, you know a verb that's conjugated into the future tense for you guys or they. Okay, so follow me, porque aquí, because here, aquí means here, or acá means also here, aprenderán mejor. Now this is not mejor, this is not mejor, mejor, alright? Aprenderán mejor, you will learn better. Okay, now here we have, síganme, porque, sorry, like this. And the following sentences are just following this sentence, okay? Síganme porque aquí, here, se aprende. It's learned. Mejor, we already know this means more, better. Aquí se aprende mejor. Here it's learned better. Y más rápido. And more faster. So in other words, faster. More fast. In Spanish we say more fast. Okay? Because we don't have the word faster, so we say more fast. More good. More... and so on, right? More big. We don't say bigger or smaller. We say more small, more big. So mejor is better. Más is more. Mejor y más. Más y mejor. Mejor y más. Más y mejor. Mejor y más. Más y mejor. And then you put a beat on it and then you can freestyle. Okay. So aquí se aprende más y mejor. Aquí se aprende. Here it's learned mejor y más rápido. For example, se aprende. It is learned. So this se, right now, it's not a grammar lesson. It's just for you to learn how to say follow me. But we have these sentences that include some grammar in them, of course, right? And you might wonder, why is this se here? I'm so confused, all right? Don't worry about it. Just learn it. And the more you learn, phrases that have this se aprende, se dice, for example, dice, it is said. Here it is said, mejor y más rápido, better and more faster, for example. Aquí se baila, here it's danced. Aquí se baila mejor y más rápido. Here we dance better and faster, for example. Aquí se come, here it's eaten, here we eat. So we don't say we eat. In this particular case, here we're saying, in this sentence, we say se come, which is it's eaten. Here it's eaten mejor y más rápido, better and faster, okay? So I'm just giving you these different examples for you to feel what it means, this se come, se dice, se come, se dice, se habla, it's spoken. Aquí se habla mejor y más rápido, okay? So when you learn Spanish with us, you will be able to speak slowly, but you will also be able to speak better and faster, okay? Mejor y más rápido. Aquí se habla mejor y más rápido. Aquí se juega, here we play, se juega mejor y más rápido, okay? Here is top level, the big leagues. Se juega mejor y más rápido. Aquí se dice mejor y más rápido. Here we say better and faster. I don't know what they say over there, but here we say better and faster. Aquí se dice mejor y más rápido. But we're talking about the word aprende, which is to learn. Aquí se aprende mejor y más rápido. Here we learn, or here it's learned, mejor y más rápido. Okay? We can also say, aquí se aprende más. Here it's learned. It's understood that we're talking about we. Here we learn. Más, more. Que. So que means what, but it also means than. More than. Okay? Aquí se aprende más que en otros. In other. Otros, other, otros, other. Similar, right? En otros, in other canales. En otros canales. What do I mean? En otros canales de YouTube. In other channels of YouTube. In other YouTube channels, for example. TV channels, for example. Or whatever platform you are using. Aquí se aprende más que en otros canales. So here we learn more que en otros canales. So we know this word más, which means more. And you can use it when you are also doing math. This plus this. Más means eso más eso. That uno más uno. One más uno. One plus one. Alright? So más rápido, more faster. Más que, more than. Otros canales. Okay? Aquí se aprende, here we learn, or here it's learned, más que, more than, en otras escuelas. Okay? So otros canales, because it has an O, because un canal is masculine, el canal is masculine, so other channels is otros canales in plural. Channels, but if it's one, it's otro canal. But here we have otra because the word escuela, school, is feminine and it finishes with a. Una escuela, la escuela, otra escuela, another school, otras escuelas, other schools. Okay, aquí se aprende más que en otras escuelas. Now, as usual, we do some pronunciation. So we don't want to say que en. We say que en otras, que no. And another way to connect here is we have and then no. Que no. No. Don't say que en you know. Que en otras escuelas. And here, same thing here. Que en otras se, que en otras es, que en otras es, que en otras es, que en otras es, que en otras escuelas. Okay. Aquí aprendemos. Now here's a little bit of a difference that I did in my previous freestyle. And I'm thinking, what a good freestyle that was. Because it's now prepared. Okay. So if we say here it is learned, and it's implied that it's we who are learning, of course. We can also say, if we just want to say specifically here we learn, then we say aquí aprendemos. That's we learn, okay? Nice. I say nice myself. So I learn is aprendo, okay? I learn is aprendo. You learn is aprendes. You add an S. He learns is aprende. You take away the S. So aprendo, aprendes, aprende. Aprendo, aprendes, aprende. I aprendo. You aprendes. Él aprende. And then we have we. Aprendemos. You guys, ustedes aprenden. You guys, vosotros aprendéis. And they aprenden. All right? So now you are getting the juice of it, all right? You are, man, I think that I'm very happy for you who is still right here. It's 20 minutes. It's impossible to make the lesson short. I try to make them 5 minutes, but I always want to give you a little bit more, a little bit different angles, okay? And I end up giving you a lot. And I think that it takes a little bit of patience from you as well, because there's different way of learning, different way of teaching, and maybe you want something that goes fast. But if you just have patience and you follow through, remember what we had right here. Follow us. Síguenos. Sigue is for you. Personal. Síguenos. You, a friend. Síguenos. Sígueme. You, a friend. Sígueme. And here is formally. I don't know you. I respect you. Sígame. Síganos. Sígame. Síganos. Remember nos. Follow us. You, that I don't know. Follow me. Sígame. Sígueme. Okay? Wow. So we made it all the way, and now we came back to see how it looks. And we realized that we've learned more than we could handle. All right? So follow us. Follow us. Follow and me. All right, again. So that's what we wanted to tell you. Follow us. Sígueme. Síguenos. Sígueme. Síguenos. Sígame. Síganos. Síganme. Síganos. Seguidme. Seguidnos. Wow. That was a very crazy lesson. And a lot of information for this Spanish freestyle lesson. Once again, we delivered more than we promised. We over-delivered. Maybe I should make a freestyle with the word over-delivered. Anyways, who knows? See you in our next video, and thank you for being here. Muchas gracias. This is la Nueva Academia de Español.